So yeah, I just wanted to do a quick update. I was going to do regular updates for my mental health. Not that it's all about me, but I feel like if I speak about it and what I'm going through, then people around me, not even around me, but people in general will be able to, oh my God, the words completely escape my mind, but people will resonate with them and they'll maybe think to themselves, oh shit, maybe I am not in the best frame of mind at the minute. Because for myself, for ages, I just literally said, oh, I've got so much on my plate at the minute, I'm really stressed. And I think it's so easy to mix being stressed with actually being in a really bad place mentally, where you do need to speak to someone. I ain't been in the best place over the last month, if I'm perfectly honest. I thought I was really sort of getting to the end of my battle when I posted my last video. I knew I weren't at the top of the mountain yet, but I was definitely close to the peak. However, I've sort of realised over the last month that it's going to be, there will be a day when I can say, yes, I'm over this part of my life. But for now, it's definitely is still a part of me. Other things have affected that, like I've been ill during that month, which has made me less active and so on. But that's by the by. But really in this video, I just wanted to say around how you can help your mates that you think you're struggling with. And I watched a podcast the other day with Tyson Fury, who I didn't actually realise he'd struggled really badly with mental health. I'll put the link to the podcast in this description box. But he basically went through how he was feeling and it really resonated with me. So that's why I sort of thought I'd get the camera out again and just speak about it, because he said that his goal in life had always been to become the heavyweight champion of the world. But since he struggled with mental health, then he understands the effects of it. And unless you've been through it, then you will never fully know what it feels like. And because he feels like he is someone that is in that position, then now his goal has changed from, all right, I want to be the heavyweight champion of the world, to, all right, I want to make this silent killer as loud as he can, so people do really take note of it. And that sort of inspired me to talk about myself and my story more, because as I've always said, if I can help one person with the way they're feeling, then fantastic. But he mentioned that when he was going through it, his family sort of said, you need to man up, these sort of things, you're too sensitive and so on. So I thought I'd just speak around like how you can help someone that is suffering, I guess, or how you would spot it and then maybe deal with it in your own way. But for myself, I'm very lucky. My mates are second to none. I know that I could pick the phone up to any of them and speak to them and they'll pick me up. But it's not, I wouldn't say, I don't know if it's because I am a man, but I don't really feel the need to turn around to my mates and say, I don't want to, oh, you're alright mate, how you been feeling today, blah, blah, blah. That sort of stuff. It's not that, it's more showing you the good in life, I think, or showing you different things like that. So for example, when I sort of started to realise that I was really stressed, because when I first started recognising this, I just thought I was really stressed. I realised that I couldn't have an alcoholic drink and that'd be that. Like I remember I went to my ex-girlfriend's, round my ex-girlfriend's for Christmas. And I am really respectful of people and so on. And obviously when you're around your around your own girlfriend, you're even more respectful to their parents because you want to make a good impression. And I remember it was Christmas Day and I got absolutely spangled round there to a point where I knew I'd never act like that around her parents because I wanted to put my best foot forward. But that's when I first started noticing that I couldn't have a drink without just necking drinks or getting hammered. And then that sort of continued since, I'd say, Christmas. Like I can't have just one or two drinks. And usually, well, when it got to its worst, the drinks would be accompanied with different sort of drugs. Well, I say different sorts of drugs, just one drug really. And then I felt, I know obviously why I get so pissed or why I would do drugs is just to sort of 100% numb the pain. And when I watched this podcast with Tyson Fury, it sort of clicked in my head. I was like, shit, that is why I've been the way I've been not recently, but I didn't think it was, I thought it was just because I just always wanted to try and have a good time, and the more pissed I got and the more drugs I'd done, then the better my time would be. But that actually weren't the case. It was just trying to numb how shit I felt inside. And that's where I'd say like your friends can come in, and obviously you don't want your mates to be like your parents and say, oh, don't do that, mate, don't do this, or you've had enough drink, mate, or whatever. But at the same time, when you notice a big change in someone from how they usually are when they get pissed to how they are now, then I think that's a good sign. I remember I obviously ain't gonna name names. I had one mate, he got dumped by his bird, and after he got dumped by his missus, he was like, well, he just literally has not stopped getting off his head since. And I think he's I know he's fully over his ex, but he just still drinks to numb that pain. But I've never really clocked it before. So, but even throughout, I've always said, oh, like he's just getting pissed all the time, just to try and have fun, rather than to like numb the pain. So I'd say, for me, what would be beneficial from people around me is like keep me away from that situation. And I know that is hard to say and do, but I think that goes a long way, because when you do get down and then you decide to get really pissed to numb the pain of something, then the next day or the next week, then you feel 1,000 times worse, which is just horrendous. So that's definitely one way. I'd say my mates are really good in the sense that they always check up, oh, how you feeling, or when we meet up, there's always sort of oh, how have you been? But it's not you're right, mate, how's your week been, sort of how you been. Like I can tell when my mates are asking me, they're just concerned about what I've spoken about in the past, really. But I think keeping on top of your mates in that sense is always good. And what I'd say is, don't be afraid to put your arm around a mate more than you need to. Not be over the top, but sometimes you need the worst thing for me about mental health is the loneliness of it. You feel so alone. You feel like you're the only person that has these thoughts and so on. So I'd say the best thing to do is just put an arm around someone, that especially if they've told you, just make sure you're checking in with them all the time. If they say, there is times where I'm just like, oh, fuck off, like I don't fucking want to talk to anyone, which is bad, I know, but I wouldn't, after that, don't feel like, oh, they're ungrateful or anything like that. It's definitely not the case. It's just they just don't know how to deal with fucking dog, eh? They just don't know how to deal with that. So, yeah, I'd definitely say that. But what I think for me now, I've always wanted to make as many people as I can as healthy as they can be, but that's always been from a fitness perspective. I think that's quite changed quite recently into, I still want to help people become fit and healthy, but I want people to, I want to help improve people's mental health, and I know I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, so I'm just going to try and work out the best way for me to do that. I don't know if these videos are helping. I hope they are, because like I say, if I can help one person feel better about themselves, then that's great. And as I always say, I'm always here for a chat with anyone, because I genuinely I would not wish this on anyone, because what I find so mad about mental health is, if someone was to walk around with a little cut on their face and they was bleeding, they could walk past strangers on the street and people would say to them, oh, you've cut your face, mate, or you've got a bit of blood on your face, mate, or whatever. You would. But you could walk past someone that's mind is so fucked that they are close to death and you would not know. And that for me is one of the scariest things about this, is just like, you can't see it. You can only see what someone shows you. And it is something that's very difficult to show, because it can be seen as embarrassing or attention seeking or all these negative things that are attached to mental health. And 2 years ago, I was someone that was saying some of these things about mental health. It is about, I used to think, oh yeah, it's just attention seekers or people that ain't got thick skin or ain't strong. But ultimately, that's not the case at all. It's just such a fucking shit thing to deal with. And what makes it even harder is, unless you have dealt with it, then it is so much harder to get support from people that haven't. Because they don't really understand how you can think in such a negative way when they've got so much to be positive about. So yeah, I'd say I'm going to keep doing the videos. If you want to hear around a certain topic of how I'm dealing with things or certain things around mental health, then hit me up on Instagram. If you want to if you're unsure whether or not you're stressed or you got mental health issues, then I'd definitely suggest go to your GP or speak to someone, and then you can really understand where your head's at. I'd say, yeah, that'll do for today, I think. A little bit shorter than usual, but yeah, it is what it is. But I'm going to try and keep these videos coming. I'm going to try and get better content, so I can hit certain areas of mental health, because I think there's so many. You've got how to deal with it yourself, how to deal with people around you when you're dealing with it, how to change your mentality, really, which is something that I'm still fighting with every single day, because I want to be back to the positive person that I know I am. So yeah, there's loads of different elements of mental health, and I want to cover it all as much as I can. So yeah, I will make that promise to whoever's watching to make the content more regular and more in depth rather than me just babbling on a one take, because there's some bits that I know I've just said that are really relevant to how I'm feeling, but also there's some bits that are nonsense, but then I like to babble. So yeah, as I have for the last 2 minutes of the video. But anyway, I'm going to end it there. Please like and share. I'll put the podcast for the Tyson Fury and Joe Rogan in the description box, so you can have a look at that. And obviously, what's so inspirational I think about Tyson Fury is he's the heavyweight. He was once the heavyweight champion of the world, and if someone like that can be affected, then in my opinion anyone can be affected. So yeah, let's help spread the word and keep going with this. Thanks for watching.